I got into this truth movement because I felt impelled to teach all my life. That's all I ever wanted to do. Even when I was in sales, and I did really well in sales, I wanted to teach people how I did well, you know. But this world wouldn't allow me to teach. Now that I found a forum to teach, they keep stopping us from teaching. so, so it wasn't my imagination that the world did not want me to teach. Okay, so I remember the last company that I worked for. I was so successful in every field that I did. I was top in everything. I was in the President's Club, and I thought I had launched one idea that they did well with, and I not got no credit for it. When it came to getting award for the President's Club, the numbers were manipulated, and I thought, why did they do that to me? You know, and then I didn't get recognition for it, but other people knew that it was being deliberately taken away from me. They were a lot of people that knew that. And they knew that I was the one that was supposed to be the top guy, but they took it away from me. Why? I couldn't figure it out. And then the second time I come up with an idea, they started using that. The company's making millions of dollars on my idea. But the third idea, I said, okay, here it is, but it's time for me to be, I want to be one of the key members of this group. If I'm going to come up with these ideas, then I want to head up the program. Oh, you do, don't you? I was like, yeah. I mean, I've proven myself enough. They wouldn't let me. Okay. Matter of fact, instead of promoting me, this is when they covertly started workforce harassment and targeting me. And then next thing you know, they would go into my accounts, badmouth me. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Somebody was going in my accounts, and I would go to meet with the people. And next thing you know, instead of being, having this great relationship with my clients, all of a sudden my clients were all sideways. I was like, what is wrong? All of them. I was like, what the hell is going on? And when I figured it out, I just said, I'm done, So a Christ conscience is a person who is conquered all their ego archetypes. Remember, in the Kabbalah, there is 11 cards in the tarot cards, and there's those 11 chakras. I'm not going to get into that. 11 and 22 is very important, okay, in the chakras, okay? And this is the energies of the microcosm and the macrocosm, all right? So when you add these up, what do you get? 22, 32, which is Ram, and 33. So Jesus dies at 33. But never will a church consider this, that the tarot and the chakras, these are the same numbers. No way. They would never consider, teaching the people that. They just keep, the churches just keep teaching people just hogwash. Jesus is going to come save us, and Jesus, and I'm just like, oh my God. The human body was meant to accomplish so much, and they tell you that you're insignificant. That's what the whole alien phenomena is. And the Big Bang, you're just insignificant. You came from a rock and a monkey, and then you're just not worth anything, And I say the opposite. I say the human body and the human mind is a potential God, okay, of the spiritual realm. There is another side, another dimension for our lives. And there's another dimension that is in control of our lives, which I call my Creator. There is no way that all of this stuff could have happened by accident. But then there's this force that wants to tear it apart, that wants to destroy it all. And this force is they hate it because they're not allowed into that kingdom of heaven. That's why they hate it so much. That we are we're God's people, and they're not. This is their realm. They feel like, hey, this is my realm. Matter of fact, even the birth certificates and the driver's license says you're an employee of theirs. You're their slave. It's pretty sad that when you tell people this shit, they don't go, what? I don't care, says a guy, an old friend of mine yesterday. He kept saying, I don't care, screaming at the top of his lungs like a demon. I'm like, all right, I guess you just don't care. They don't care. And so when I teach, all I do is just put the information out there, and if people want to listen to it, that's up to them. I mean, I don't push anything on people. So let's take a look at the word Christ again. Okay, 8 is a number of God, right? God in gematria in 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, here it is, 11. R, which is 18, 1 and 8 is 9. There it is right there, 9, 11. And then you have a war on ISIS. ISIS. There it is right there. Obama declares a war on ISIS. Bush declares a war on 9/11. And then, of course, 9 plus 11 is 20, which is the letter T, the cross. Oh no, that's not a coincidence. We don't have psychos that want to kill Christs. Oh, Christ is, according to the religion, Christ is only one man, and he's going to come save us all, right? Well, that's not my belief. I believe Christ made it to the spiritual realm, and the only way he's going to come to us is through our consciousness. And right now, this is happening. It's coming to people. Christ is coming to people. Of course, the demons are like, I heard some lady on TV the other day on The View or something say that Mike Pence was talking to Jesus and said that he's mentally ill because he's talking to Jesus. Well, to them, yeah, because they're never going to talk to Jesus because they're clones. They're genetically modified goats. And then they sit on their thrones like there's something special on this earth. Believe you me, the more money and the more power you have on this planet, the more inferior you are in the eyes of God. This is why the elections, the real elect of God will not be rich people. And if you look at our elections, it's all based on money. And this is why this world is upside down and backwards. It's very sad. It's very sad. And I kind of hoped that Donald Trump was going to be the one to pull us out of this, but it doesn't seem that way. It seems like he's negotiating a deal, a bigger, better deal for the artificial intelligent human. See, if they had declared a war on 9/11 and ISIS, which is also the symbol of 9 and 10, or 9, 11, and 10, 9, 10, and 11, or whatever. Of course, S is 1 and 9, which is 1 and 9 is 10. So 9, 10. These are the highest level of consciousness. It's just like black belt, yin and yang, okay? These are the highest level of consciousness. A black belt has achieved his 9th, 10th, 11 is so important. When you add the 11 to the V, which is the female, right, you get 33. Okay, so once again, mathematics proves that those tarot cards and those chakras are not satanic. It's not pagan at all. It's the energy of the force of God within your human body. And then the energies of the force of the macrocosm. How they interact, how the microcosm, the real internet of the stars and the planets, interact with the human consciousness. And of course, the artificial intelligence is taking away those stars and planets and blocking them out, called geoengineering, solar radiation management, stratospheric aerosol injection. They block it out, and then they microwave you to death and just hope that they can get people to do things like shoot each other in Mardi Gras. During Mardi Gras, I was a witness that there was nothing but geoengineering going on. 100% of the time. There's hardly no time that the sun was shining. It was all chemtrails, clouds, geoengineering, and a lot of microwaving. And of course, during Mardi Gras, there were hundreds and hundreds of people arrested and people shot. Because when they propagate information through the cell towers, it certainly isn't love. It's hate. It's revenge. It's fear. It's kill people. That's what they're propagating. Vibrations of evil, not vibrations of good. Matter of fact, all microwaves, are lower frequencies. God is the higher frequencies. So, so anybody that's so ignorant to allow an infrastructure of microwaves and then wonder why the planet is heating up and we've got all these weather problems. And when we do have winter, they do what they call ice nucleation. And the snow is not really snow, it's just ice nucleation. It's the same thing that they do in the mountains. So once again, you tell me please, that the word Christ is not associated with how these people are trying to conquer the Christ. 9/11, ISIS on the cross. I mean, Hillary Clinton funds ISIS. It's a terrorist group that they pay for. And then they say, we're going to war on ISIS. It's just like the school shooting. They shoot up the school, okay? It's all a staged event, and it's a drill. Nobody can say it wasn't a drill. It was a drill going on, just like all the other Boston and all this stuff. It's always drills. And the next thing you know, kids are dead, which are targeted individuals. These are kids that somebody wants their organs, or they're awake, or they're Christ children. Because believe you me, we have very special old soul children on this planet. And let me tell you something, Satan hates this. I'm one of them. I knew that I was an old soul long time ago when I was a kid. I knew it. And so did the churches. They knew that shit too. They knew exactly who I was. And I know exactly how they do know, because through all these radio waves, they're always monitoring, watching you, okay? And they made it through technology to where they can figure out who the Christ is, who the Christ potentially can be. So, I mean, for example, when I was a kid, I didn't do well in school. My mouth was filled with mercury. I mean, the dentist would drill and fill and drill and fill. I had more mercury in my mouth, which is absolute poison. And then I was always a hot-headed kid too, you know, even when I was a teenager. And when I got that mercury on my mouth, it changed my life. I was no longer this hothead. I remember back in 1999 when I got all this shit out of my mouth. Okay? But by then, your brain is trained to react a certain way whenever it's under stress. So the mercury, and then I had to retrain myself not to get frustrated when, you know, I would get emotional. And most of the time when I was frustrating, it wasn't hate or revenge or anything like that. It was just, I wanted to teach people, and I knew that they were doing wrong, and I would get frustrated. And, you know, I tell you what, yesterday I had literally a guy that supposedly we were friends, and I was trying to, you know, share something special with them, and they don't want to be shared with. So they I don't want it. I don't want to know. I mean, okay, all right. And what these people are cowards. You tell them to their face, they get pissed off, but because they're all ego driven. They're cowards. They don't want to know how to bring heaven on earth. They think from the churches that Satan is going to run this world, and that's just the way it is, and there's nothing they can do about it. And then that's not true. I mean, I have a dream, just like Martin Luther King. I want to see heaven on earth. I am tired of these demons running this planet, treating us like slaves. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Nothing. But that's why they call us crazy, lunatics, conspiracy theorists. Because they're threatened by us. I mean, they are very threatened. That's why they take down your YouTube channels. That's why they won't let us teach. Because right there proves that they're after the Christs. And that means that they exist today. All that we exist today. There's many Christs, there's many Jesuses, people. Walk in the footsteps, you become Jesus. And you can all be like Jesus. Instead of worshiping Jesus, why don't you try to do what he did and be like him? And I don't know why that's so difficult for people to understand.